What is up, YouTube? It's your boy Angel. Welcome to Universal Strength, where we transcend today for better tomorrows. So in today's video, I want to talk to you about what I've been doing for the past 4 months and some of the things that I've kind of come up with in order to progress Universal Strength into the right direction. And then I'm going to talk to you guys about the possibility of other subjects that I haven't mentioned here in the channel and how I might be interested, or I would really be interested to talk about them, but I also want to know if that's something that you would be interested in. So anyway, stick around and hope you enjoy the video. So for the last 4 months, I have actually taken a complete break from any sort of physical activity. At the time when the winter hit, I basically kind of retracted inside, and started going into this sort of hibernation stage. At that time, I was also working for a cleaning company, and it was kind of taking up a lot of my time, and I was finding that I wasn't really able to create any content. So there, having those conflictions was pretty challenging, but essentially what's going on is I've actually thrown in my 2 weeks with that company, and I'm now focusing fully and 100% into Universal Strength and hoping to grow that into the platform or the business in order to help people transcend today for better tomorrows. So in that time, essentially I was educating myself on the affairs of the world today. Obviously, as you guys know, gyms have been closed off and on here in BC, and then on top of that, I'm actually not personally able to access gyms just because of my own personal lifestyle choices. Very interesting stuff. Ultimately, I don't know if this channel is open to the idea of talking political and social and economical events. And ultimately, what I'm wanting to do here is just open up the dialogue and give people an opportunity to give feedback on whether or not it be something that they're interested in. In particular, cryptocurrencies. I've kind of been diving deeply into the understanding and backbone of the world events and how it's changing our infrastructure, and I've been finding it actually highly fascinating and just ultimately just really, really eye-opening. And if it's something that you guys might be interested in, it would be something that I would love to incorporate into Universal Strength. So in particular, one thing that I've been personally doing to sort of get a better clarity around what it is I'm creating here with Universal Strength, I have decided to create better guidelines around what I like to call the 4 pillars of strength. Okay, basically these are guidelines in order to be able to give some cohesion for people to sort of utilize and focus on in order to help themselves transcend today for better tomorrows, to be able to get through life in as linear fashion as possible, even though life is not linear, and I can save that for another video. I have come up with this 4 pillars of strength method, and essentially what it governs under is emotional strength, physical strength, mental strength, and spiritual strength. Where these cryptocurrencies kind of fall into play and this educational aspect falls into play, that would be considered mental strength. And for the longest while, I have been educating myself in order to boost my mental capacity, increasing my intellect as much as possible on a given subject. So reading as much as I can, memorizing as best I can, and then putting all of those things into good practice. Every single person on this planet should be pursuing these 4 pillars. Every person on this planet, one shape or form, is going to need more work in one than the other, depending on just who you are as an individual. For example, some people have great emotional acuity, they have a great emotional IQ, and maybe they're overly expressive, maybe they're really in tune with their emotions, and they don't really need to be working upon self-expression in that way. But for other people, they could be completely emotionally shut down and need to work on those emotional pillars. Okay, so one of the concepts here at this channel is we are particularly focused on physical strength, obviously through strongman training and one bar, one body. And I've been wanting to take it upon myself to be able to, utilize that and in order to help people, right? I mean, obviously living a sedentary, unhealthy, happy lifestyle can lead to a whole host of issues. And let's just be honest, right now, currently with thou that shall not be named on YouTube, with all the events around the world, they're not exactly propagating healthy, happy, vibrant news and encouraging people to actually stay in shape, right? I mean, gyms are closed, and I mean, ultimately it's just ridiculous because people ain't getting the help that they need, right? They're not getting the physical exertion, physical expression in order to be able to develop themselves and become stronger human beings. So this is where things need to change. Now, one of the other concepts within this pillar is spiritual strength. Once again, this is a really taboo topic that a lot of people aren't interested in talking about, and that particular pillar is extremely subjective as well. I mean, ultimately, people are going to be having their own spiritual experiences, and for each and every single person, their relationship with, whether it be the universe, God, Allah, or source, whatever you want to call it, is completely and entirely their own. So I'm going to be talking about the spiritual side of things in a way that I know how I relate to the world, right? So ultimately it comes down to faith, having a form of faith, having a strong form of faith, whether that's within myself or within the world around me and how it interacts. Having these sorts of belief structures allow you to not feel like your life is just a nihilistic experience, that there's purpose, direction, and so on and so forth. So there will be conversations on that spiritual side of things as well. Ultimately, what I'm wanting to do today in this video, not make it too long, not ramble on too much, but ultimately what I would like to do is I would like to talk to you as my audience and give you guys the opportunity to leave in the comments down below whether or not you would be interested in me talking about the cryptocurrencies and some of the things that I've sort of witnessed in and around them. How does that relate to the 4 pillars of strength? Ultimately, financial freedom, as much as we want to kind of say that money isn't important and that you shouldn't do everything for money, I also do believe that ultimately at this current time we have not stepped out into a resource-based economy, and we are currently very much so dependent upon financial capital in order to be able to have freedom in our lives, to be able to experience many opportunities. Money doesn't necessarily buy happiness, it just buys experiences, and those experiences can ultimately lead to emotional, physical, spiritual well-being. So money, of course, that being said, is not your God. You don't have to worship it, and you don't have to try to make your entire life about money, but I'm pretty sure a good large majority of you woke up, went to school for 12 years, you went to some sort of educational diplomacy outside of school in order to be able to pursue the career that you're in, and now you're living out in that career. Now, where cryptocurrencies come in is that maybe and perhaps you are somebody that has been experiencing your work environment and you've hit a crossroad where you're spiritually, emotionally, and physically unwell because what you're doing is leaving you what I like to call soul sick. So if that's the case, ultimately what I want to do is try to incorporate the conversations of social, economical subjects into this channel in order to be able to help elevate people. I really do believe we are the creators of our lives. I really do believe that what you think in your heart, what you believe in your mind, and what you feel in your heart is ultimately what you're going to bring into reality. And that if it is important that if you are somebody who is spiritually soul sick, that you try to work on these 4 pillars of strength, and that you change your life circumstances, and ultimately all of these subjects coincide together. So if this is something that you're interested in and want to know more about, I would love to continue to share it. Anyway, what I'm going to do is leave it at that, because I want to keep this video nice, short, and sweet. And I look forward to continuing to make these videos for you guys. And by the way, a little pro tip on the whole YouTube thing: you can even make me talk even faster if you want to hit that little cog down at the bottom and play this video at 1.5 to 1.7 times the speed. It's freaking wicked, because it literally will take out the oohs, the ums, and the rest, and the pauses, and just make it so that this video whips on by regardless of how long it might be. Anyway, I hope you guys are all having a wonderful day, and I look forward to making more videos in the future. Take care.